Nice to see you. My name is Doit Khan. I am your Relata prompter. This is the fourth time we've been together. And tonight, this evening, we're going to talk about love. That is our topic and how it moves in our lives. As I was contemplating this topic, my mind went back to high school. It was my junior year, and my life was all about getting into the best college, or the right college, if you will. And what I knew was in order to get into college, I was going to need to do more than just get the right kinds of grades. There had to be leadership, there had to be sports, there had to be service, there had to be music. Even back in the day, some people thought church involvement was important as well. Basically, it was about telling the story of the whole person. And so when the opportunity came up for me to volunteer at a group home for people who were neurologically different than most people, I signed up. Very good college application material. I did the obligatory training, and then I began to show up at the group home Thursdays after school. I think there were 4 or 5 people who lived there, but there was one guy, Steve, who I connected with. Every Thursday I would go and I would visit him, and we would go into the little kitchen, sit around the folding table, and we would have snacks, and then we'd go outside the front lawn and we play catch with a football. Now, he was the first person I'd ever met and got to know who had Down syndrome. And I remember being surprised at his capacity to throw and catch a football. There we would stand, I think rain or shine, on the front lawn playing catch for an hour or so. And as we did, we'd chat. The Thursdays accrued over time, and I reached the end of my obligation, but I found myself continuing to go on Thursdays throughout the entire summer. I'd go and I'd visit Steve and we'd play catch, because at some point my transactional intention turned into something different. It was more than just playing catch with the ball. He'd listen to me, I'd listen to him, we'd share our lives, and even though they were radically different lives, authentic relationship developed. It occurs to me now that at some point that relationship upshifted into something bigger than the idea of resume padding. It became real. It became human to human. It started with the connection over football, and that remained our primary similarity on the surface, but under it or behind it, a new connection flourished, a brotherhood in our case. The Greeks, a long time ago, gave it a name. It was philia, which means brotherly love. It's an archaic term now because it doesn't have to be gendered in any way. It's about being together. It's about telling the stories of your life. It's like building trust. It's the kind of love that isn't prone to jealousy. Great example of that currently in my life are a group of men who I went to seminary with. We get together once a month on the phone. We meet together about once a year. We've been doing it for 20 years, and these are my brothers. I love them. They know me. I know them. Philia. It's maybe the kind of love that is built around small groups, maybe even the group at the table you're sitting at. The way love appears is a funny thing. Like, I love my dog, Minnie. Sometimes you hear her snoring or walking around here in my office. She is a great dog. The Greeks gave the name of that kind of love to be storge. Love is so big it needs a bunch of names. There's a love I share with my wife, Kristen, of 38 years. That's a love that has a lot of dimensions, including eros, right? Eros is the Greek word for passionate love, the love of being in love. It's the kind of thing young people are prone to, but old people aren't immune from. I have other ways, other things that I've loved along the way. Right? I loved going to my grandmother's house in western Nebraska. I love climbing Mount Rainier with my sister, even in the failed achievement. You remember my talk last week about achievement. Love connects. Love is relational. And that is the essence of our Relata conversations this evening. Love as relational. It's about deep relationships in our lives that, in their particular way, have attached to this concept of love, whether defined as storge or philia or eros, broad love, brotherly love, romantic love. There's another love as well. It's called agape love. You Greek scholars are familiar with that, or if you're a T.S. Eliot fan, you would be as well. But tonight's reflection is going to keep us in the realm of the material love, storge, philia, eros, broad love, friendship love, romantic love. Because it is here where we also encounter the paradox of love. Right? Love can break your heart. It can be fleeting, here today, gone tomorrow, flash flood, dusting of snow, melting almost instantly. Your dog can die. Your grandmother's house may burn to the ground. A longtime friend can turn on you and betray your trust. Break your heart. It happens. It's happened to me. Maybe it's happened to you. Hard-heartedness we encounter in the world, people who become indifferent to us, cruel people. These exist, and they're the opposite of compassion and connection, made even more painful when they materialize in the wake of authentic love. It's tough. That's the paradox of love. It has its roots that run deep, deeper than the boundaries of belonging to a particular thing. Love feels like it is the firmest ground upon which we stand until it is not. It is beyond ambition and achievement. It is a sensation that we all share as human beings, human to human. It is part of our nature. Love is to live and move and have your being, as an ancient poet once wrote. And yet, it too has limitations. It is the best thing, and sometimes it is the thing that hurts the most. I got too busy my senior year to keep visiting Steve. I don't really know how he felt about that or whatever happened to him. But I was off to college soon enough, resume in hand, well padded, and maybe with some lingering insight into the impact of filial love, even if it was only active in that one relationship for a short period of time. Tonight's Relata conversation is on the topic of love, broad love, friendship love, romantic love, how it moves, how it reveals itself through our vulnerability and authenticity, through time, how it's about care and compassion and connection, how it reveals itself in relationships and experiences at all levels throughout our entire life. It never stops. And how it is the best and it is the worst of all things. That's love. Enjoy your conversations around all types of love this evening. I hope you enjoy the conversation, and it is a blessing both to tell and to hear.